And welcome back. Our guest tonight is Ken Webb. He is a political commentator and satirist. You can find him on YouTube as Change the Channel, that's DA Channel, and also on Truth Frequency Radio. He joins us now to talk about his most recent endeavors. Thanks for joining us, Kenneth.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Now, Ken, I'm familiar with your work and the things you do, but for the people who don't know, tell us about Change the Channel and also Truth Frequency Radio.
Truth Frequency Radio is a bunch of activists who turned radio talk show hosts, and a bunch of us were at another radio network, and we just all that just kind of folded. So we all went over to Truth Frequency. It's really awesome. A lot of different people, different styles, and everything. We also on Saturdays we have a roundtable discussion where a bunch of us to get together on Saturday nights from 10 to 12 and talk about things that are going on. My show is from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern time, and I take a lot of things from YouTube that I do over on YouTube, and I will put it into radio. Also, like I'll do a weekly The List. I'll dig from the hat sometimes, pick out topics to talk about. I'll do rants, breakdowns, little mini documentaries in there. So I try to take everything from the visual to the audio out there. Over on Change the Channel, I've been doing that for about 8 years now, and trying to do different styles of videos to present the information.
And tell us, Ken, because I noticed you have some new additions where you constantly change your flow and your style, but tell us about some of the more recent additions you've added to your repertoire.
The newest one is Monologue with the Revolutionary. It's a fictional monologue set in the future about the revolution to come, as told by a revolutionary living in a new world order. And it goes on. I did 2 episodes of that. It's really good because it's fictional, and I like changing it up and presenting the information in this format also, because it's, a lot of the fiction's based on reality. In the story, we'll learn about the future. As the story continues, you'll learn more and more about it, because they've just got 2 episodes up now, and they're about 2 minutes each, and about what led up to all of this. So you'll learn as it goes along what led up to the point that the character's at, what happened during the armed revolt of 2020, which was it was talked about in the 2nd episode, which we pretty much know that was all squashed, and what happened to his family and his home, all the while showing what's happening at the present, with the struggle, what things are like, how people live, under what conditions, how the revolt is rebuilding basically from scratch after the 2020 revolt, tactics and technologies, excuse me, being used, which I really like as, being the writer of something like this, is thinking about what tactics that would be employed after an armed revolt had been squashed. Information would be golden, how they would organize in such conditions, what their next move would be, because it's, what we do now basically in the information war. So it's a good comparison from the future in fiction to what we're doing now. I mean, we don't have an armed revolt, but the information war is where it is now, but they're kind of forced into no other options at this time. So I'm using a lot of reality in the work of fiction.
That's exactly what it is, because we see every day the parallels between fiction and the real world get less and less. We think about 1984, we think about Brave New World, and all these other things going on. So let's talk about some real world issues right now with this current government shutdown. What are your views on that?
I'm really wondering if this is this when they're going to make their move. I mean, because I think about it futuristically as what will affect if we default on the 17th. What would happen if they allowed that to happen? Because the powers that be, the puppet masters out there, they could use any of these situations to go take it to the next level. If we default, and let's say people start not receiving their Social Security or veterans benefits or anything like that, people can't go to the grocery store. I mean, I told my mom, I was like, I hope you got some money set back just in case. I'm not saying anything's going to happen. They'll probably come through with a quick fix, and this thing will drag on and on. But there's the other option that they want to do that, because what would happen? People start rioting, raids on the stores at some point, and then they would be able to crack down a lot more.
Martial law.
Right. So it's a possibility. I don't know. I kind of go back and forth. I'm not good at predictions really, but I think that this could be an opportunity for them to do a lot of things if they wanted to, or allow through, like the furloughed workers, something to happen like some kind of false flag attack of some sorts.
And we definitely don't want to see that. But something that's not a prediction, we see all these veterans not being allowed to go to their own memorials, things that they built with their own blood, sweat, and tears. And it's just very sickening, in my opinion. These guys go to their own memorial. You can't even get in. They got it taped off or roped off. And your thoughts on that?
Hey, that's horrible. Then it's just a telltale sign that they don't care. They do not care about us. They don't care about veterans. And you know how they always, every time they're talking about it, the brave men and women and all this stuff, and they'll drape themselves with soldiers behind them.
They'll bring them to the football games and, how they have the kids run out on the field and hug them and all that.
And they set all of that up, and then what do they do to them? I mean, look how many homeless veterans that there are out there, the percentage of homeless people that are actually veterans, and that's been for decades and decades, that's been the case. They don't take care of them. They just use the same thing as us. It's sad. I was glad the first day when they just, busted through the barriers and went on, but now the reports are they're just like, they're spending more money on the police there, police presence and all of that, and protecting in that manner than they needed when they just left it open. I mean, it's
exactly right. Now, Ken, our time is short, so tell us about, just give us an encouraging word for any activists out there, any commentators out there who may want to get started in the line of work that you do.
You just got to have an idea, get the information, research it, and spread it around in any way that you can. Just come up with the idea. If it's nothing but, I mean, if it's something like making flyers and posting them around with some information on it, and coming up with different ways and different, means to get people to wake up. Because a lot of times people have to learn things for themselves. So a lot of times you could just put up a flyer with just a email address to some declassified government documents that are out there that if people would actually take the time to read, they would know that this whole thing is just insane. But as long as, and a word of encouragement also is a lot of people want instant gratification in this war, like the war and the battle that we're in. And I don't think that that's going to happen. I think that we just need to keep on our present course of this information war and always know that as long as they are there, we're going to be there.
Exactly right.
You can destroy the entire world and say 3 cats, got in a rocket ship and blast it off. You got 3 people. One's going to think they the top dog with their mentality. The number 2 guy's going to sit there and want to be number 2. And there's going to be the third person's going to be the bottom of the barrel. He's going to be the slave to them. He's always going to be number 3. And in that mindset, the revolution will continue. Because
exactly. Now, sorry to cut you off there, Ken, but our time is short. And I definitely appreciate you, Ken Webb. Change the channel. That's DA channel, and also Truth Frequency Radio. Thank you for your time, man.
Hey, thanks a lot, man.
And one of the great things about Ken is he posts many of our videos on his YouTube page, Change the Channel. Bomb Deception is there as well as many others, but you can also find those on prisonplanet.tv, where you can get yourself a 15-day free trial. You can get the Alex Jones Show, the nightly news, the special reports, the rants, and of course, the movies. So be sure to become a member of prisonplanet.tv. I'm Jakari Jackson for the InfoWars Nightly News, and we'll see you next time.
Now you can watch the Alex Jones Show live as it happens at Infowars.com/show.
You'll find links to all of our content there and a free 15-day trial for Prison Planet TV.
More than 60 movies and documentaries all in one place at Infowars.com/show.
Are we choosing our own destiny, or has it been pre-selected for us?
As we've moved through history, every great leader has had to understand the potential of information.
Billions of dollars have been spent privately and publicly, looking at how to tap into your psyche.
From compulsory state education to the Hollywood media brainwashing machine, we are kept in perpetual bondage to the ideas that shape our actions.
When somebody obscures that feedback loop between you observing and testing it out and verifying it, they can take total control of your awareness.
All of this is happening so fast, you need to be ahead of the game.
How to engineer the opinion of the American people so that they would not only endorse but demand a war.
Oh, there's another plane just hit.
State of Mind, because there's a war on for your mind. Get your copy of State of Mind, the movie, at Infowars.com. And remember, every order at InfoWarsStore.com receives a free citizen rulebook.